Union Stadium in Alliance, Ohio. It's time for NCAA Division III football. Hello there, everybody. I'm Harry Patus, and along with Joe Tate, Brooke Thomas on the sidelines, we're going to be bringing you the action of this Ohio Athletic Conference game between two teams that are battling for the conference title. The visiting Otterbein Cardinals coming in with a 7-1 overall mark, and the Mount Union College Purple Raiders, the defending national champions, coming in with an 8-0 mark. And this game being set up as a major factor in the OAC. We're in the next to the last week of the regular season, Joe, and Otterbein was expecting, I think, to come into this game undefeated the way the season had gone, except last week they suffered an upset to Marietta, but they still have a shot if they can defeat the Purple Raiders here this afternoon.
Yeah, they've gone through a couple of quarterbacks, but they are obviously geared up for this one, as it would seem almost every team that comes in here is ready to play.
And last year at this time, the two teams went into this game undefeated over in Westerville, and we had a chance to show you some highlights of that game. Purple Raiders undefeated then, and also the Otterbein Cardinals undefeated, and I think Westerville was really humming as they thought the Cardinals had a shot to maybe beat the perennial national champions. And on the opening kickoff in Westerville, the Purple Raiders forced a fumble, and it set the tone for the ball game, because on the very next play, with Greg McKaylee at the quarterback spot, pump faked once, and he found Cecil Shorts open in the corner of the end zone, and Mount Union got on top right away. On the second drive, good old Nate Kamick, number 36, found the end zone after breaking a couple tackles at the line of scrimmage, and the Raiders went up a couple of scores. And they kept on going as Cecil Shorts across the middle, making one of his patented catches from Greg McKaylee, and the Raiders were ahead again. And they also played some very fine defense as Ely came up to make the stop, and we used to marvel at old number 6. Here's Nate Kamick up the middle for another touchdown in that game. And a little bit more defense with Sam Kershaw, who is on this version of the Purple Raider squad, making the tackle. And again, Greg McKaylee had a field day, finding another receiver close to the end zone that time. And here come the Purple Raiders. This is the 2009 edition of the Purple Raiders, but they continue to be an amazing team in the OAC. It's a great day here at Mount Union Stadium. It is a family day, and let's go down to Brooke Thomas on the sideline for an atmosphere check. Brooke?
The team looks fired up today. It's going to be a great game. It's a big game since Otterbein only has one loss, and the OAC championship is at stake. It's beautiful weather, just a tad bit windy. Back to you, Harry.
Okay, thanks very much, Brooke. And she mentions the wind, and it is blowing south to north, so it will be a factor here at Mount Union Stadium, which is laid out that way. And as Brooke said, this is a great atmosphere for what essentially is a championship game as far as the OAC is concerned. Here's the series record, as the Purple Raiders have won 31 straight, 37-4 against Otterbein. And the two coaches in this game, Joe Loth is in his 7th season with a 39-30 mark, and Larry Karras is in his 24th season with an amazing 283, 21-3, a 926 winning percentage for Coach Karras. So we're just about set to go here for Mount Union Stadium. Should be a good one, and we'll be back right after this timeout. Now the Purple Raiders won the toss, and they elected to defer and will defend the south goal as the kickoff unit takes the field. There you see Larry Karras, the head coach of the Purple Raiders. And a lot riding on this game. You know, you usually get to week 9 and Mount maybe has it wrapped up at this point, but Otterbein has had an outstanding season. They've had to go through a couple of quarterbacks due to injury, and we're still actually going to wait and see in terms of who they're going to put out onto the field as their starting quarterback here this afternoon. We've got the officials and it's a veteran crew for this afternoon's game. Referee is Ken Swanson, and the umpire is Brian Minachan. The linesman is John Vicarell. Line judge is Tony Montana. Back judge is John Patton. Field judge is Chuck Griffin. And the side judge is Tony Tarantino. So the Raiders about to tee it up, and this might be one of those afternoons where there has to be a holder because the wind is blowing probably 15 miles an hour or so from the south and contributing to a very warm afternoon. So here we're set to go, and here to bring you the play-by-play, fresh from the New York Knicks-Cavs game, Joe Tate.
All right, Harry, thank you very much. Herman Tibbers, Joe, the young man who came here from Sweden via Martins Ferry, Ohio, drives the opening kick into the end zone and out of the end zone. And that was a high, hard one that got by Kyle Stoughton, and he is going to be the quarterback, I think, Harry.
Yeah, along with these guys. Wide receiver Tanner McCormick, and then the line is Colmer, Huckberg, Watson, Pfeiffer, and Burnt. Tight end Detweiler. Wide receiver Rowley on the other side. Stoughton is the quarterback. Coy, fullback, and Yates the halfback.
Actually, there are two 18s on the Otterbein team, and that one that had his fingers singed was Pat Doherty. And Stoughton will be the quarterback, brings him up at the 20-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go as the sunshine bathes Mount Union Stadium. Pitch out to the right side, driving for a couple of yards, is Colton Coy, a 5'8 junior from Frankfurt Adena.
Here's the defense for Mount Union. They're going to have their hands full. Otterbein runs the ball effectively. Herbert, Williamson, Liggett, Millings, Lutz, and Kershaw, and then you get into the backfield with Renbarger, Jordan, Stewart, McLean, and Ferrara. But this is a great Mount Union defense, and they have played exceptionally well, especially of late here this season.
Kyle Stoughton, the quarterback for the Cardinals, is a 6'3", 215-pound sophomore from Lancaster, Ohio. He turns in the backfield and hands off again, driving into the pile is Colton Coy, and a pickup of another yard or two.
Here are the numbers on Stoughton. 4 completions, 10 attempts, 10 yards, and keeping in mind that he was a replacement quarterback. Actually, he is the third quarterback that Otterbein has used this season, and injuries have cost Austin Schlosser, who was dressed on the sidelines. It'll be interesting to see if Schlosser makes an appearance, but he had to come in a backup role as well.
Ryan Rowley goes out wide to the right with a slot to the right. Stoughton is back. He fires one upfield, caught there by Eric Yates from Dublin Scioto, but they'll put the ball down shy of first down yardage. 4th down and a yard to go.
A good job by the Raider defense to force the 3 and out. Drew McLean came up and made the stop just short of the sticks. And now it'll be the Cardinals kicking into the wind. There's McCaw celebrating its 15th birthday here today, along with some friends, which I'm sure will get some camera time before it's all over.
David Brewer will be punting against the wind. The punt stands up at midfield and bounces back to Otterbein territory, where it is collared in a hurry before it could go any further over into Otterbein territory by Kyle Culver.
Well, that came very close to hitting a Raider, and I think that was the reason he dived on the football so quickly. Here's the Raider offense. At one wide receiver spot is Shorts. Up front, Crowell, Nikolazakis, Nitz, and Bird, as well as Guerrero. Tight end is Judd Harold. Another wide receiver is Vince Petrozello. Kurt Rocco's the quarterback. Scott Penchik scheduled at the one running back spot along with Terrence Mooring.
And Terrence Mooring, the setback, as Rocco throws sideline to Cecil Shorts, and Shorts scrambles down to the 41-yard line, close to a first down.
And the Otterbein defense will have its hands full trying to stop this attack. They've got Stelzer at the one end spot. Up front they have Whitehead, Vuich, Horsley, and at the linebacker spots, Edwards and Reinhardt. Backfield is Woodfork, Bowman, Ebright, Lynch, and White.
Same setup, and the handoff is to Mooring. He's got the first down and plenty to go with it, all the way down to the 33-yard line. Tackled at that juncture by Donnie Reinhardt.
Well, Mount Union's offense is really starting to click, and we've seen it especially in the last couple of games. Terrence Mooring has had 4 100-yard games out of his last 5, and there you see his numbers, 543 total yards. And Kurt Rocco has established himself as the primary quarterback and has done a great job of engineering this offense.
And the
Mooring fumble
comes loose down at the 30. However, they indicate that Mount Union maintains possession, a pickup of about 2 yards.
Well, Mooring went down hard, but I think the ball came loose after the ground caused the fumble. He cuts it into the inside, then gets flipped, and then ball comes loose after he hit the ground. So good call there by the official. Come in and signal that.
Shorts left, Petrozzillo right. Back to pass is Rocco. He fires a strike downfield, a one-hopper to Shorts. It'll be an incomplete pass, and a third down and 8 yards to go.
Now, they had Shorts on the deep post, but the ball was underthrown, and maybe thrown a little sooner than was necessary. Shorts was just starting to break away from the defender.
Cecil Shorts III is a 6'2", 195 senior from Cleveland Commonwealth. Into the game for Mount Union is A.J. Claycomb. He's out to the left side. Back to pass is Rocco on 3rd and 8. He's got time. He throws. It's caught by Shorts. 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds. They'll stay stepped out of bounds at the 11-yard line, so it'll be first down and 10 yards to go.
Good communication there between Rocco and Shorts. Shorts actually coming back to the football to make this reception. Rocco had all kinds of time here and fired a bullet to Shorts, who made the nice catch and picked up first down yardage. Sets up a first and, is it goal? It's pretty close to goal.
Well, first and 10 at the 11. They give to Mooring, and Mooring fights his way down inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line. They'll spot it at the 3, so it'll be second down and a yard to go.
And Terrence Mooring hoping to have another big day on the ground, off to a pretty good start. Nice hole opened up by that offensive line, and he knocks tacklers off of him. It's about 8.
Judd Harold is into the ball game at tight end. Got Shorts and Petrozzillo both to the right side. Claycomb to the left. That's Shorts in motion. Handoff to Mooring. He cuts up the middle, drives to the goal line, and he is in. Just got it into the end zone, and the Mount Union Purple Raiders strike first, leading 6-0. Jake Carpenter will try the extra point.
Good running here by Terrence Mooring, but again, the O-line getting the job done, creating that little bit of a seam, and Mooring dives into the end zone for the touchdown. Raiders made it look easy on the first drive.
Brandon Matthew to hold, Carpenter to kick. He drives it through the uprights, and Mount Union has a 7-0 lead here at Mount Union on Parents' Day. The Purple Raiders are going to kick it off after we take this timeout.
Mount Union gets off to a fast start as the defense holds Otterbein. And now the Raiders are going to have to bring in a holder as the wind continues to blow the ball off the tee.
Tyler Allward will hold the ball as Timmerjoe gets ready to kick again with a very strong breeze blowing right down the gridiron from left to right as we look at it. A line drive shot that's, again, same story. A high, hard one. Anthony Korpieski was at the goal line, couldn't even stop it, and they'll bring it out to the 20 for a first and 10 for the Cardinals.
Well, the team that is traveling south is going to have that situation, the sun in the eyes, and also the strong wind coming at them. So Mount Union took advantage of the wind and marched down the field, while Otterbein, which is this is a team that likes to keep it on the ground, but Mount Union's a team that likes to play against teams that like to keep it on the ground. So it's an interesting situation here for this matchup. I think we've got a new quarterback for Otterbein.
It is Austin Schlosser.
Yep.
6', 195 sophomore from Plain City. Played at Jonathan Alder High School. He turns in the backfield, going to pitch it out wide to the right, charging up over the 25 to the 27-yard line was Colton Coy. Pick up on the play of 6 yards.
So the Cardinals playing a little possum here on Mount Union. It looked like it wasn't going to be possible for Schlosser to get into the game because of his injury, but he's running pretty well there, runs the option nicely, and the Cardinals pick up 8 yards on the play.
Eric Gates has come in to replace Coy. Schlosser working out of the shotgun, fumbled the ball. He wasn't ready for the snapback. Flags fly. And with a second and a long 2, we'll see what the officials come up with.
Well, everybody was moving, and it is a legal procedure against Otterbein. Schlosser was not expecting the snap, so somebody missed the count.
Comes Korpieski back into the ball game. And for the Cardinals, sitting down is Kevin Ripka. Played at Brunswick. All right, for the Otterbein Cardinals, we've got McCormick out wide to the near side. In motion is Korpieski. He gets the ball, and he gets buried inside the 20-yard line. That was a play that just developed too slowly. The Mount Union defense was more than ready.
Yeah, I think Drew McLean actually blew up the play, and then the rest of the purple jerseys were there to make the stop as the Raiders playing some pretty aggressive defense here. There's 32 McLean, who comes up and again makes the first hit. He didn't make the tackle, but he blew up the play, and as a result, Otterbein, which was looking at 2nd and short, is now looking at 3rd and 10.
Schlosser gets the ball, gonna fire it upfield. Intercept, whoops, almost. Chaz Jordan had a shot at it as he was going down, but couldn't quite get the handle. Leaves it 4th and 10, and the Cardinals will be forced to punt.
Yeah, Schlosser put this on a line, but he threw it behind his intended. And as a result, the ball was tipped, and then Jordan, just juggling it, couldn't come up with it. But the defense does get the job done, and they'll now send Otterbein into punt formation.
All right, David Brewer to punt the ball, but he just did get it underway. And it takes another Mount Union bounce slap to the turf up at the 32-yard line. And the punting game for the Cardinals has not been a strong suit.
And of course, punting into the wind, you get it up in that jet stream, and that's the result you're going to get. It also is not taking good bounces when it hits. So Kurt Rocco come out for 2nd series for the Purple Raiders. Some pretty impressive numbers for Rocco. 123 completions, 176 attempts, 22 touchdowns. And the Raiders have another short field. That's the one thing you play Mount Union you don't want to do.
Rocco turns in his backfield, he faked beautifully. The Mooring throw into the end zone. Petrozello just not quite able to get to it. It'll be 2nd and 10. That was a great fake to Mooring, but the pass was overthrown.
Yeah, it did allow Petrozello to get behind the defenders, but again, the wind, Rocco probably putting some touch on that football, but the wind took it away from Petrozello, and he had to speed up and just couldn't get it.
Waiting for Petrozello to get back to the huddle. He'll come out wide to the left. Shorts comes wide right. Mooring in the backfield along with Wes Ryder. The give to Mooring this time at the 30 and knocked down at the 29. Good solid tackle made by Cole Edwards, a junior linebacker from Dublin Kaufman out of Columbus.
Yeah, Edwards did make a nice play here because it looked like Mooring had some running room to the right. Takes the ball to the outside, and then has to collide with the defender, and it's going to set up 3rd and long for the Raiders at the 30, but it is 4-down territory.
Claycomb coming back into the ball game. He comes across to the near side. Judd Harold is out wide to the left. Petrozello and Shorts also to the left side. Rocco back, the pocket holds, strike to Petrozello, nailed at the 7-yard line. It's amazing. He caught the ball and hung on, and he obviously paid the price.
Yeah, that was a big hit, and you're right. I don't know how he held on to the football. This is an excellent hit by Otterbein to try to jar the ball loose, but Petrozello hangs on, but he's trying to shake off the cobwebs after that hit.
Well, the hit was made by big number 37, Anthony Lovelace, sophomore from Independence.
Here's Petrozello's numbers coming in with 31 catches, 483 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And, you know, Cecil Shorts gets a lot of the headlines, but Petrozello's having a great year for the Purple Raiders. I think he may have, when he got dinged, that's for sure, but it looked like it might have caught him in the midsection, might have knocked the wind out of him a little bit. He's sitting up now, and that's a good sign.
Larry Karras comes strolling out to see if he's okay, and he is. Walking off the field under his own power. Mount already with a 7-0 lead in the first period, a matter of 7:20 to play in the period. Well, the Mount Union Purple Raiders wrap it up at home next Saturday against the Marietta Pioneers, a team that beat Otterbein 25-22 down at Dondrum Field in Marietta last Saturday.
Pioneers, coming into this season, thought this could be an exceptional year for them, and they certainly surprised everybody with that win over the Cardinals.
Wes Ryder in the backfield. They spread it out right and left. Shorts to the near side. They give to Mooring. Mooring fights his way down to the 5-yard line. Should be good for 1st and goal.
Terrence Mooring not too happy as he gets up from the bottom of the pile there, and having a word with the official.
Actually, it's 2nd and goal because they were within 10 yards of the goal line when they started this series. So 2nd and 5.
Seems to be some confusion on the part of the Raiders. They were sending a bunch of guys in and out, and they're going to call timeout and talk things over. So 6:21 remaining first quarter. Mount Union on the march with a 7-0 lead, and we'll be back after this timeout. Now Mount Union called the timeout, talked things over. They're up by a touchdown. They'd like to gather another one here in the first quarter.
And Petrozello's back into the ball game, comes on wide to the near side. Panchik is in the slot to the left. Rocco looks to the end zone. Now rolls and throws. Caught in the end zone. A great catch by Judd Harold.
Well, he presents a nice target. You had a pretty good view of that. That camera angle showed you how things were in the end zone, and it's amazing. Rocco with his height, Harold with his height, those guys can see each other pretty well, as he's having trouble picking out a receiver that he wants to zing it into, and he finds Harold in the deep part of the end zone for the touchdown. That was great work there by the receiver and quarterback.
Snap back, kick up, and it is good. Mount Union improves to 14-0 here in the first period with 6:13 to play.
Well, again, Mount Union getting that short field, they take advantage of it, and you give Rocco this kind of time, and he's going to eventually pick somebody out. And he rolled to his left and found Judd Harold, who goes up high for the catch, and he's 6'5" to go along with it, and he's going to make that reception. So nobody else is going to be able to get there.
Judd's a senior from Chagrin Falls. They send out Korpieski to receive. He'll be back there with Eric Yates. The first two kickoffs from Timmerjoe have been bullets that went right through the upstretched arms of the receivers on the goal line.
And again, he's having trouble teeing it up. There's Coach Karras, 24th season, 283, 21-3. How many coaches do you know that have gone 24 seasons and have less than a loss a season?
Well, Timmerjoe asked for Allworth's assistance to hold the ball on the tee. Yeah, what a record. Timmerjoe's kick. Another shot headed for the end zone. Caught back there in the end zone, racing up to the 10, 15. Oh, and a flag comes flying.
So on top of the fact that he was just getting a little antsy about returning the ball, I think, again, he would have been wise to just keep it in the end zone, but decided to bring it out, and then a flag comes in, and let's see if this is against Otterbein. They're going to be back even deeper, and it is illegal use of hands against the Cardinals. So the decision to bring that ball out backfires on the Cardinals.
They march it from the 11 back to the 6. And 5.5, actually, half the distance.
Looks like Schlosser is going to stay in at quarterback.
Tanner McCormick coming out wide to the near side. Schlosser down at the goal line. Fires up the middle. It is caught, and an immediate tackle made for the Purple Raiders by Judd Lutz. The receiver was Shane. No, that's not right.
No, Detweiler. Michael Detweiler.
Detweiler.
Yeah. He was open across the middle. Schlosser does a nice job of picking him out of a crowd. He did pick up about 4 on the play.
Second and a long 6. So again, McCormick to the near side. This time 2 setbacks back there with quarterback Schlosser. He gets the ball. He pitches it back. Goodbye.
Boy, that was a well-read play, and reading it perfectly the entire way for the Purple Raiders was Roger Stewart.
Senior from Pleasantville, Fairfield Union High. Boy, he ended that in a hurry, and they're back to the neighborhood of the 7-yard line.
Well, his assignment was the trailing back, and he certainly made the tackle and dropped him for the big loss. Great read there by Stewart. Coming in with 40 tackles. Has 3 picks as well.
They spot the ball at the 8-yard line. 3rd down. This will be 3rd and about 12. McCormick goes wide right this time. And it's Rowley to the near sideline. Schlosser hands off, and that nets next to nothing, as driving ahead up over the 10 to the 11-yard line is Eric Yates.
So Otterbein had to play it safe there. Didn't want to take any chances this deep in its own territory, but this is not a positive situation for them, as they have to kick into the wind with the punter standing near the end line.
David Brewer is just about 1 step away from the end line. Snap back to him, and he gets it off, but the wind stands it up. It's caught by Petrozello, and he's knocked down at the 21-yard line. Tackle made at that point by Kyle Culver, a senior from Thornville.
Yet another short field for Mount Union. They haven't had to drive the ball very far in their first 2 series that have resulted in touchdowns, and they're now looking at it at the 20-yard line. Still 4:07 remaining first quarter, and here comes Rocco, who so far today has made the best of the short field, 4 of 6, 56 yards and a touchdown.
Claycomb to the right. Shorts in the slot to the left with Petrozello out wide to the left. Rocco back. Panchek there with him. Rocco throws to the sideline. Petrozello is wrestled down at the 11-yard line.
Now they were coming from the backside as Rocco rolled to his left, but Petrozello was wide open and picked up a little more positive yardage to be just shy of the first down. As we look at Rocco again, rolling to his left. And Petrozello all by himself. They're laying off of him, realizing he can be a deep threat, but Mount taking advantage of what the other team gives him.
Rocco to Panchik. Panchik breaks an initial tackle and fights his way down to about the 6-yard line. That should be good for a first down.
So Panchik on the ground with his first carry. Terrence Mooring's been carrying the freight most of the way here in the first quarter.
Ball back to the 7. First down, goal to go. Same cast of characters for the Mount Union Purple Raiders. Rocco out of the shotgun. Petrozello in motion. Rocco turns, gives to Panchek. He twists his way down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line.
Well, he had a notion to cut it to the right and then figured, I better follow my blockers. See if I can pick up at least a couple yards, and he did.
Donnie Reinhardt was the man who led the tackling.
Panchek's numbers coming in, 100 carries, 446, and 8 touchdowns. He's been nursing a bit of an injury, but now seems to be back at full strength.
Rocco back. Rocco looks. Rocco's hit, gets away from the hit, rolls, runs, throws, touchdown. Wow.
I thought he was throwing that away. Kyle
Miller from Elida was the fellow that was able to snag it just before going out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Rocco looked like Roethlisberger here. It looks like he's going to go down there, but he can't. They're not able to bring him down, and then he rolls and just kind of flips this ball. I thought he was flipping it out of bounds, but Kyle Miller's there, and he keeps his feet down and scores the touchdown.
Well, the Kyle Miller, or the cameraman, was going to catch that football. Kick by Carpenter. Good again, 21-0 in favor of the Purple Raiders. And there's still 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first period.
Well, I'll tell you, the Raiders are taking advantage of the wind, but Otterbein is just thwarted by the fact that they can't get anything going offensively, and then when they're punting the ball and getting it up into the wind, they're giving the Raiders a short field. So 3 consecutive short fields, and the Raiders are up 21-0. But give Kurt Rocco a lot of credit for what he's done. This game, of course, for the OAC title, if the Raiders win, they clinch it. And it would be their 21st OAC title and their 18th in a row, dating back to 1992 in terms of, the possibility of a title. Wow.
Timmers Joe is putting the ball on the tee. Whether it stays there or not remains to be seen.
Yeah, this would be a first, possibly.
So far, so good.
On the tee.
And he drives another one downfield. This one is caught on the goal line by Korpieski. 15, 20, 25, and gang tackle to the turf up at the 24-yard line. First and 10 for the Otterbein Cardinals. They put the ball between the 23 and the 24. Slasher remains in the ball game at quarterback. He is just a sophomore. Was injured previously, but he's back at it today. Turns in the backfield, going to keep and run, and forget it. Anything outside Harry has been met with immediate defensive presence. That time Judd Lutz was involved.
The Raiders play very well against the run, and Otterbein is a run-oriented team. And despite the fact that the Cardinals come in as the #1 team rushing in the OAC and among the leaders in the nation, Mount pretty quick defensively. They're pretty tough to run against.
McCormick wide to the right. Rowley to the near side. Back to pass. Lasher flares it outside, and the receiver cut down before he could turn upfield. Colton Coy put down.
And Drew McLean hustling to the ball after the catch.
Ball back to the 20, 3rd and 14.
So the Cardinal passing game will flare into the flat. You'd think that'd be good for positive yardage, but McLean comes up and makes the tackle.
Well, he goes out wide to the right. And who just carried the football, Coy, is to the near side as a wide out. So Slasher working out of the naked backfield, but the flag flies and they ran out of time.
Yeah, back judge threw the flag. That means delay a game. Otterbein wouldn't mind if they don't make it here, maybe punting into the wind for a change. Here's Schlosser, 2 completions, 3 attempts, 0 yards.
There's a message in there somewhere. Back to pass Slasher. He looks, he rolls, he throws. Great catch. Beautiful catch upfield by Luke Boucher, I believe they pronounce it. Luke Boucher, 5'11" sophomore from Pleasantville, Liberty Union High.
But he's going to be just a yard short of the first down. They did get out of the hole, but just a yard shy, as he did make a great grab here. Schlosser with a good throw, and Otterbein's punting unit comes on the field. And down he goes, and they unless they said his foot was out of bounds, they got a bad spot.
Brewer, 3 punts, averaging 18.5 yards. This one is 60 yards straight up and back, and takes another bad bounce. And again, a Cardinal is forced to swat at it, and Cole Edwards knocks it down at the Otterbein 40-yard line.
And time has expired here in quarter number 1, I believe. We're showing 0-0 on the clock. And Mount will be going into the wind, but they do lead it 21-0. And I believe Brooke Thomas has a guest on the sideline. Brooke isn't ready quite yet, but as we switch the field, it will make a difference, I think. The wind is going from south to north, and Mount is going to be going into the wind.
It's going to be very interesting now to see how Mount Union deals with the wind, which is obviously a factor.
Okay, Brooke is now ready with the guest. Hey, Brooke, what's going on?
I'm here with Jessica Douglas, Assistant Director of Student Involvement and Leadership. Today is Family Day. What are some of the events that took place?
We actually have a lot of things going on the rest of the day. This morning, family members could come to the typical pregame lunch, which was great. They also were invited to come to the football game, and then later on this afternoon, there'll be a family cornhole tournament and a celebration for McCall's 15th birthday, which is great as well.
That sounds fun. Back up to you guys.
Thanks very much, Brooke and Jessica. And now the second quarter begins with the Raiders with the football.
And Panchek just ran through an open hole and all the way to the end zone for another touchdown. It is 27-0.
With the wind, against the wind, keep the ball on the ground like that and open up holes, you're going to be successful. And Panchek gives the Raiders a 4-touchdown lead. Another look at it. Look at the right side, just blow things open. Excellent blocking up front. Panchek makes the right cut to the outside, and then it's a foot race, and Panchek wins it.
He's a 5'10", 190-pound senior from Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania. Carpenter will attempt to go 4 for 4. And wind or no wind, he puts it through the uprights. And it is now 28-0. in favor of the Mount Union Purple Raiders, and we're just 9 ticks into the second quarter.
So the Raiders just keep it going here. This is a juggernaut today. Their defense is doing the job, and 4 touchdowns on offense, 28-0 early in the second quarter. Another view of the touchdown by Panchik. You see the great blocking up front. And there he goes.
Once he got beyond the line of scrimmage, it was just a question of how much the wind would impede his speed into the end zone, because it's a cinch the Cardinals weren't going to bother him. Timmerjo will now discover what it's like to kick against this wind.
Timberjoe's been busy.
With the wind, he's been driving it into the end zone or near there on every kick. This time against the breeze. And he gets it up in the air. It is caught at the 25-yard line and getting up over the 35 to the 40. Carrying the ball is Eric Yates.
Well, if nothing else, Otterbein hoping to improve its field position, because they have been operating inside their territory and oftentimes deep in their own territory this entire game. So now they've got the wind, they got the benefit of a decent return there, and they've got the ball at their own 40-yard line. Now they've got to make something happen offensively.
McCormick and Rowley are the wideouts. In the backfield, the fake handoff, the throw downfield, and a flag is thrown. And there'll be pass interference, I believe.
Yeah,
on this one.
There was a lot of contact, and receiver on the play, Ryan Rowley, was held up. That's why the ball was thrown to an empty space. So this will either be holding or passive interference.
Chaz Jordan was involved.
And it is pass interference, so that gets marked off from the line of scrimmage.
Puts the ball in Mount Union territory at the 49-yard line. Mount Union has piled up 4 touchdowns in the early going. Now we have a momentary delay while they recycle the play clock. Ball back to Slosher. He rolls, he pitches, and the ball is fumbled out of bounds as Kevin Ribka couldn't get a handle on that one, and it will be a loss on the play.
Well, I'd love to run the option, but the Raiders have scouted them well. They had everybody covered here. Potential man into the line, the quarterback was covered, and then the pitch was bad, and that made things even worse. So that was destined for doom from the very start.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Slosher back, fires down the middle, and Chaz Jordan got a hand on it, but incomplete pass.
Now, I think Rowley, the receiver, broke off the route, and as a result, Purple Raiders were the ones who tipped the ball twice. Slosser looking for the cut and overthrew it, and then it almost was picked off again.
Yeah, Kershaw banged it once, and then Chaz Jordan put a hand on it before it came down. So 3rd down, 15 yards to go. Shotgun for the quarterback. He's got a full load of people back there. He airs it out, and it is incomplete.
That was excellent coverage by Renbarger. They had him one-on-one.
McCormick was over there, the intended receiver, but Renbarger made sure that was an incomplete pass, and it's now 4th and a good solid 15.
Well thrown ball, but good defense as well, and no chance. for the reception.
Our camera people today are outstanding.
They're right on it, aren't they?
Really in the right spot at the right time. Ball comes back and the punt sails downfield and sails out of bounds.
See where they mark it, because they're going to say it went out at the 20-yard line.
Well, Brewers had an agonizing afternoon when it comes to punting the football. 1st and 10 for Mount Union at the 20. One of the few times today they've started in their own territory, thanks in no small measure to the wind. Petrozzillo, wide right, Harold to the slot. Shorts comes near side. Terrence Mooring also in the slot. Quick flare to Cecil Shorts. He dances, he runs, he dances, he fell down. Pickup of 5 yards.
One too many cuts there. He made a couple of good ones, and then as he tried to make the last one, his feet went out from under him, but he did manage 5 yards on a play that didn't look like it was going to go anywhere. With that reception, it'll take him over 1,000 yards because he came in there with 999.
Petrozzillo and Harold now go to the right side. Mooring goes into the backfield. And the handoff to Mooring. He's at the 25. He's at the 30. He's at the 35. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. Well, I was 5 yards ahead of myself.
Almost to the 50.
Yes, with the sun shining on the field, I was misreading numbers, but it's at the 45. He will shortly be at the 50.
He does a great job of reading the blocks and makes some great cuts here. He was very patient there, waited for the hole to open, got through it, and cuts against the grain. Switches hands with the football, and another nice cut to the south, and just barely gets tripped up there at the 45-yard line.
1st and 10. Handoff, Mooring again. Told you he'd be at the 50-yard line shortly, and there he is.
You're clairvoyant, Joe.
I've been called many things in my life. I'm not sure clairvoyant is numbered among them. 2nd and 5. All right, the Purple Raiders have certainly had all the better of it thus far against the Otterbein Cardinals.
Boy, there's really an excellent crowd on hand for this game. Family day, but both sides filled up. OAC title on the line here.
Rocco back. Rocco pumps, airs it out for Shorts. He caught it.
Yep.
Out of bounds. Down around the 14-yard line.
He actually had to come back to get it. And again, Rocco put that ball up there where Shorts could receive it, wind or no wind. He's throwing into the wind. And the ball kind of hangs up there, and as a result, Shorts has to come back for it and makes the catch, and it gets driven out of bounds. But a fine pass and a great reception by Cecil Shorts.
Shorts left, Petrozzillo right. Mooring and Ryder in the backfield. The give is to Mooring. Mooring turns wide right. Eludes the initial tackle and then runs into a whole bunch of Cardinals down about the 11-yard line.
Well, they went to the short side there on the handoff to Mooring, and he did pretty well to pick up positive yardage. Looked like he was going to be stopped, but kept the wheels turning and lowered the shoulder.
2nd down, about 8 yards to go. All at the 11-yard line. Rocco, senior from Cincinnati, Roger Bacon, gives to Mooring. Mooring fights his way down over the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. Mooring is having one of those typical Mooring afternoons where he just grinds it out.
Yeah, he's got right now 9 carries. Make that 10 carries, 60 yards. So 6 yards per carry, not a bad clip for him.
Judd Harold into the game to replace Ryder. They bring Miller into the end spot on the right. He's already caught 1 TD today. Rocco fakes to Mooring, rolls, throws. Miller has his second touchdown of the day.
Good play fake into the line, and then Rocco, who we thought coming into the season was pretty much just a drop back type quarterback, but Coach Karras has been working with him, and he's been rolling out, getting away from trouble, and that was a perfect example of the dexterity of Rocco and also his good vision to find his tight end for the touchdown.
34-0. Matthew will hold. Carpenter will kick. And he drives it up and good. 35-0. On the year, Carpenter now has popped in. Well, we'll tell you when we come back after this timeout.
Yeah, there you see part of the throng here at Mount Union Stadium. A lot of people standing as well. This crowd, they came to see what they hoped would be a clinching OAC title win for the Purple Raiders. And if they would do that and hang on here, they would go and get that would clinch the automatic bid for the NCAAs as well. But they have another week next week against Marietta.
Timbers Joe drives the ball down to the 15-yard line, returning up over the 30 to the 33 is Korpieski. Korpieski is a 5'10", 180-pound junior from Westerville. So the ball is at the 33-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. Sam Watson, a senior from Germantown, snapping today. It's back to Slasher. He throws upfield, and it is caught by McCormick. And McCormick is able to get a first down.
There seemed to be some confusion there, actually. There were a couple receivers in the same area. McCormick, the ball was actually waved at by the up receiver, and McCormick was there and beat his man and picked up the first down.
So it's at the 48-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. Fake on the handoff, back to throw Slasher. He's going to air it out, didn't throw it far enough. Caught over on the far side by Renbarger, and the Mount Union Purple Raiders slam the door again.
Well, the receiver fell down. Rowley, I was wondering if there was any contact there, but I think he just flat out slipped, and Renbarger, who was defending on the play, was there to make the catch.
Yeah, he did. He slipped and fell. Renbarger was in the neighborhood, but Renbarger made the interception, a senior out of Euclid, Ohio. So the ball is at the Mount Union 41-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. Mike Nitz at center, snaps it back to Rocco, gets away from one, flares it ahead, and that time Panchik was saying, where am I going to run, before he caught the ball.
Yeah, didn't look it in. Rocco already with 3 touchdown passes and has put up some pretty nice numbers.
He's 6 of 9, 69 yards. All right, they'll try it again. Rocco gives to Panchik. Panchik breaks open, still on his feet, and down to the Otterbein 41, 42-yard line.
Well, Scott Panchik making some nice cuts there. Looks like he's fully mended. And it'll be another Raider first down.
1st and 10. Claycomb out wide to the right. Shorts goes with Petrozzullo to the left. Panchik the setback. Rocco in the pocket, fires near side. Petrozello caught it and is hit immediately at the 35-yard line.
He gets wrapped up and then he gets leveled at the end of the play by Hochstetler. Boy, Rocco's getting a lot of time. That offensive line's playing a great game. Rocco's looking off, first, second, and third receivers, and then has another chance to scan the field and finds Petrozello.
2nd and 2. Rocco turns in the backfield, gives to Panchek. He's got the first down and is buried as he gets down to the 30-yard line. Now let's see where they spot the ball, but it is right at the 30, and that should be 1st and 10.
Yeah, McCaw's 15th birthday has brought a lot of his friends out of the woodwork. I'll admit, one of them.
You didn't have anything to do with this, did you, Harry? Huh?
I will defer to another source on that one.
All right. Mooring joins Panchik in the backfield for the Purple Raiders. He gets the ball, 30, and gets a hard fought 3 yards down to the 27-yard line. Terrence Mooring now with 7 carries for 30 yards. We're down to 7:10 to play in the second period. I just can't get over this weather, Harry. It is just beautiful.
This is like maybe the first game of the season as opposed to being in week 9.
With the exception of the breeze, this is the perfect Saturday afternoon for football. Rocco fires a strike caught by Shorts, and Shorts is knocked down at the 5-yard line.
Ran the slant, and he's tough to stop, especially when Rocco can put it on the money as he did. As we look again, Shorts with a nice catch, and Woodfork has to chase him down short of the goal line, inside the 5.
They spread him out again. Panchik comes out into a slot left, leaving Mooring as the lone setback with Rocco. Give to Mooring, and Mooring falls forward, picked up about a yard or 2.
Looks like he's inside the 2, so it'll be 2nd and goal.
One of the big defensive forwards for Otterbein was shaken up on the play, and he will be replaced. That's Joe Whitehead coming out of the ball game.
Yeah, it's a shirtless day, Joe. You mentioned how warm it is.
I've seen those same guys in December with the same attire. Give to Panchik. He rolls down to the goal line, and he scores.
So Panchik with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And we still have 5:38 remaining here in quarter number 2. Raiders go up by 6 touchdowns. Panchik lowers the head, knew where he got to get, and he got there.
Carpenter ready to drill another one. Bad snap back, and the ball hit the upright. Well, you won't see that happen often, but it was a low snap back, and Matthew had to pick it up and set it up, and then the ball drilled off the upright. We'll be back with more after this timeout. All right, Timmerjoe ready to kick again. He's spent most of the afternoon doing this. He drives it downfield, and Korpieski picks it off at the 18, comes up the near side, gets a hole, and is finally knocked down. And the ball comes free, and I think Mount Union got it.
They do. Boy, after a great return, losing the football, and I think, let's see, I'm not sure who came up with it, but it looked like it might have been James Coppola. Take another look. This is a fine return, and it looks like he might be able to go the distance. He gets slowed up there, spun around, and then here come the purple jerseys to jar the ball loose, and Mount gets it back. Turns out that on the recovery, it was Cameron West.
Cameron West, a sophomore from Fraserburg, Tri-Valley High. The fellow put his helmet on the ball was Charles Dussel, a freshman from Winter Haven, Florida. 1st and 10. Rocco stays in the pocket, airs it out for Cecil Shorts, and he didn't get it. It was intercepted, but hold on. We got a flag thrown down to the 15-yard line.
Flag is down, and it might be offensive pass interference. I think it's going to go as an interception and hold. Shorts was battling for the football.
The ball at the moment is sitting at the 15-yard line. Face mask. Yeah, I thought Shorts might have grabbed the face mask as he tried to get back to get to the ball. So they'll march it ahead.
So chalk that one up to the wind, I think. Rocco throwing into the wind. Shorts was running the deep post, and ball just got hung up a little bit. He got behind the defenders, but the ball ends up being underthrown. And then as he tries to fight for the football, evidently grabbed the face mask.
Handoff nets a yard or two as the carrier on the play, Eric Yates from Dublin Scioto, was able to get the ball up to the 32-yard line. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. 5 minutes to play in the first half. That was Terrence Mooring, cooling his heels at the moment. Certainly had a busy afternoon. Whistles blow. Timeout, Otterbein. So the Cardinals take time. They trail 41-0. Talk.
Mount had forced 13 turnovers in the last 13 quarters of play, and a turnover margin of +8 in that span, and they've had some turnovers here in this one as well. And it was kind of interesting early in the season. They were playing good defense, but they were not forcing the turnover. But against Capital, at a time when they needed it the most, in a game where they had the rally in the 4th quarter, they forced a key turnover that resulted in the winning touchdown, and then it's been Katie bar the door in terms of them forcing turnovers the rest of the games leading up to this one.
Jay Carpenter, by the way, this year has kicked 50 of 53 extra points, and the last one that he missed was a shot off the upright. 3-man shift in the Otterbein backfield. Schlosser rolls the other way, throws the other way, and it is caught for a first down. That was Rowley who made the catch. Ryan Rowley from Grove City, a senior. So the Otterbein Cardinals pick up a first down. They've been hard to come by for Otterbein today, but they're 1st and 10 now, up at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, that is just their 3rd first down of the game.
Schlosser back, throws, caught again. Rowley again made the catch in front of Chaz Jordan. And that should be another 1st and 10 with the ball now at the Mount Union 45.
Quick drop by Schlosser, and he's finding Rowley, who's Mount's playing a little off, trying to prevent the deep ball, and Rowley found the opening, picked up the first down.
Schlosser down the middle, this time tipped and incomplete. And a late flag.
That one came from way back.
Well, the intended receiver is on the ground. The penalty will be against Mount Union in all likelihood.
It'd probably be a personal foul because I don't think interference would have been the call.
Michael Detweiler from Westfield Center. Oh, I remember him. Played at Cloverleaf.
Yeah. There was a personal foul on Mount. Looked like a pretty legal hit. Good to know that the young man for the Cardinals is okay, because he did take a pretty good hit while he was stretched out to try to make the grab.
I think the hand in the back was what precipitated. Drew McLean got the receiver in the back. And the ball thrown by Slosher right through the hands of the intended receiver, Tanner McCormick. That'll bring it back for a 2nd and 10 at the Mount Union 30. 3:54 to play in the first half. That wind continues to blow briskly right down the gridiron from left to right. Mount Union took advantage of the wind in the first quarter. Otterbein trying to do the same here in quarter number 2. Slosher back, throws it downfield, caught by McCormick, and another flag is thrown.
Well, Backjug's getting pretty flag happy here. Let's see what this one's about.
Renbarger would be the culprit.
McCormick made a very fine catch there. There might be some more added onto this one too.
Put the ball at the 9, and they call pass interference. It's refused because the gain is longer than the penalty yardage, and Otterbein is at the 9-yard line. First down, goal to go. .345 to play first half. Whistles tooting, timeout called by Mount Union. 41-0 with the Cardinals knocking on the door here on Parents' Day in Alliance, Ohio.
Well, Mount's defense has played extremely well, but now Otterbein is on the move and inside the 10, and the coaching staff wants to talk things over with the defense. At this point, at least, the game is not being threatened, but I think the ease with which the Cardinals marched on this drive has to be of some concern to the coaching staff, so they can try to tighten things up a little bit.
Now, you don't want to rest on your laurels, because that can, although I'm not going to tell you it's going to turn this game completely around, it could make it a little nerve-wracking for the Raiders.
Well, Otterbein has had a pretty good record of doing stuff in the, especially in the second half. They've been scoring a lot of points in the second half.
All right, the two teams deploy at the 9-yard line. First and goal to go for the Otterbein Cardinals. Slosher, the quarterback. He's back there with Eric Yates. Slosher throws to the end zone, knocked down on the goal line defensively by Roger Stewart, a senior from Pleasantville.
Well read by Stewart, diving in there to break up the pass. Another look at it. Get a view of what Schlosser sees. And nice play by Stewart. Tried to jam the ball in there for the touchdown, but not to be on that play.
Slosher turns, gives it to Yates, and he runs into Purple Raiders at the 8-yard line.
Lance Liggett with a really fine defensive stop there. He had forward momentum. He's going to pick up some good yardage. But Liggett slowed him down and finished him off.
So it'll be 3rd and 9 for the touchdown at the Mount Union 9-yard line. Slosher directing a little traffic. Back, throws near side ball, tipped up in the air and caught at the goal line. Roger Stewart at the 10, gets up to the 15-yard line, and Otterbein has to be talking to themselves now.
Well, it's just going to be a matter of time before Stewart got one there, because he had tipped the ball a couple times and unable to come up with an earlier one, and then makes the pick on this deflection.
So the ball is at the 14-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go for the Mount Union Purple Raiders. with a matter of 2:58 to play in the first half.
So Mount's defense preserves the shutout here in the first half. And the offense with a long field now.
Preserving the shutout becomes a matter of pride as the game goes along. These guys do not want to give up a score. Mooring the setback back at the 5-yard line. Rocco working under center, gives the ball to Mooring, and Mooring comes crashing ahead over the 20 to the 22-yard line. Mad at himself for not going further. Terrence Mooring, 5'10", 200 pounds, a senior from Sanford, Florida. Roger Stewart is the young man who stopped the Otterbein Cardinals in their tracks. Petrozello right, Shorts to the left. Rocco turns, gives to Mooring. Mooring's got the first down and falls ahead to the 34-yard line. 1st and 10. Well, let's see, Mooring now 13 carries for 75 yards.
Again, approaching that 100-yard mark, which he has hit 4 out of the last 5 games.
First and 10, 34-yard line. Rocco back, fakes to Mooring and airs it out. It is caught and dropped up at the 45-yard line. Petrozello couldn't hang on. That'll make it 2nd down and 10 yards to go. We're down to 1:51 to play of the first half. On the sun-drenched, wind-swept gridiron in Alliance, Ohio.
It's hard to believe there's so many leaves sitting over to the west, which is where I live. It's still to be picked up because things look so pristine here.
Ball is snapped back to Rocco. He looks and fires down the middle to Cecil. Shorts! Shorts had it on the hands, but turned and lost control.
Now that got the big groan from the crowd. It looked like that had 6 written all over it. The ball was just a little bit underthrown, but this is a catch that Shorts will make sometimes. Look at that great move. And Rocco throws it right there, and just I think maybe a fingertip maybe by the defender.
Kyle Miller's back of the ball game to the right in the slot with Cecil Shorts. Rocco back, fires down the middle. Shorts again, ball knocked away defensively. Good play by Chase Bowman, a cornerback from McConnelsville.
Shorts is looking for the call, but does not get it. He was triple teamed on the play. Felt like he got knocked off the ball, but no call by the officials, and the Raiders are going to have to punt it for the first time this afternoon.
Carpenter will do the punting. Standing back at the 20-yard line. This is his 25th punt of the year, and he's averaging 37.6, but this one's coming into the breeze. He drives it downfield, caught by McCormick at the 30, and is able to go ahead to the 37, and that's when he is drilled by Judd Lutz and others. Lutz from Tiffin, Columbian, a senior.
Cecil still shaking his head a little bit. Thought he might have had a touchdown on that drive, but did not materialize. And now Raider defense comes on the field.
1:28 to go in the first half. Tanner McCormick out very wide to the left.
Mount has a 301 to 84 total yard advantage right now.
Well, the handoff to Colton Coy, and Coy meets about half the defense up at the 38-yard line. Pickup of a yard. Out of the no huddle now with Schlosser in the shotgun. Back, looks, throws, caught nicely by Rowley in Mount Union territory at the 37-yard line, as we now have 59 seconds to play in the first half. And they crank up the clock again. Schlosser calls out some numbers to the folks going downfield. Runs, chased, throws it, caught by Rowley. Jumping on top of him was Judd Lutz, and he came up with the ball. That was like squeezing an orange.
Rowley was already on the ground, however. Now a timeout's going to be called by the Cardinals,
leaving them 2nd and 1 at the Mount Union 28-yard line with a matter of 27 seconds to play.
So the Cardinals come over to the sideline, and the Raiders are going to regroup on defense. Last time it was Mount that called the timeout on defense inside the 10-yard line. Otterbein trying to put together a scoring drive.
They got down to within the 9-yard line last time they had their hands on the football, and an intercepted pass stopped the chance for 6. Schlosser quarterbacking with 2nd and 1, 27 seconds to go in the first half. Schlosser back, he looks, fires downfield. It is caught by McCormick at the 10, and he's wrestled down at the 7-yard line by Runbarger. Also down there to make a play on the ball was Drew McLean, a senior from Newark.
Otterbein quickly to the line of scrimmage, but then they are going to expend another timeout. I believe that's it for them. That'll be their last timeout with 17 seconds remaining. This was nice work here by the Cardinals. McCormick found the opening man. That was McCormick.
So 1st and goal to go at the between the 7 and 8-yard line. They really want 6. Desperately.
Yes, they do. Want to salvage something out of this first half because they have been steamrolled here in Alliance.
Yeah, they got hit with everything. The offense of Mount Union, the defense of Mount Union, the wind of Mother Nature. And they've had a tough time handling any and all of that. But now they've got a shot. Rowley goes wide to the left. Schlosser at quarterback. That's McCormick in motion. Ball comes to Schlosser. He rolls, he throws, and throws that one right out of the ballpark.
Well, they had everything looking like it was going to go right, and they thought they were going to maybe fool Mount Union, rolling to the left, but there just wasn't anything there, and Schlosser wisely just lofted it out of bounds.
2nd down goal to go. Otterbein has used all of their allotted timeouts, so
Now, they can't really run it here. 11 seconds left.
McCormick right, Rowley left. In the backfield, Schlosser keeps, then throws, and the ball tipped down at the goal line. The man to put a hand on it was Judd Lutz.
Well, Lutz wanted the interception, but couldn't come up with it. And they're down to 6 seconds remaining. Another look. Schlosser looks like he's got his man in the middle of the end zone. But Lutz goes up high. He's knocked the ball away.
3rd and goal, 6 seconds left of the first half. Slosher back, gets away from the initial rush, fires a strike into the end zone, and it is intercepted by Roger Stewart again.
Boy, Stewart made a great play there, and Schlosser, rolling to his left, had a difficult throw to make. And put a lot on it. But Stewart thwarts the drive as time expires. And, you know, you'd think Mount was holding off Otterbein to take the lead there. It's 41-0. They take a lot of pride in stopping this play. And a nice grab there to stop the drive. So 41-0 in favor of Mount Union at the half. Purple Raiders have had it all their way as the defense has been outstanding. Offense has moved the ball pretty much at will against the Cardinals. And both teams going into the locker room. There you see the score. Mount Union 41, Otterbein 0. We'll be back after this.
Tyler Allward took the opening kickoff of the second half, and by the time they caught him, he was in Otterbein territory at the 48-yard line.
So Mount Union, which has had a short field for a good part of the first half, finds itself as a result of a fine kickoff return right across midfield into Otterbein territory to start the third quarter.
Korpieski finally caught up with him. Korpieski receives kickoffs for Otterbein. That time he had to try and receive the kick returner.
Rocco's numbers, 11 of 18, 146 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Pitch back to Panchik. He's down the sideline and is finally put down near the 30-yard line.
So they went short side with the pitch. Looked like Panchik was going to run out of room, but cut it upfield. Panchik had a nice first half with just 6 carries, but they were good for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns.
First and 10 at the Otterbein 31-yard line. Petrozzillo out wide right. They've got Claycomb to the left and Shorts in the slot left side. He gets the flare pass and is able to fall down to the 28-yard line. Caught down there by Chad Woodfork, senior out of Columbus South.
Well, the timing was just a little bit off there. That could have gone for 6. A.J. Claycomb just missed the man he was supposed to block there that ended up making the tackle on Shorts. And Shorts got dropped for a short gain, but he's had a pretty good game so far as well. 5 receptions, 92 yards, but no touchdowns.
He'll go in slot left. Same deployment. Panchik, the setback behind Rocco, gets the ball, comes outside, is able to break a ankle tackle and get down near the first down yardage.
Well, there's some good running there by Panchik. Looked like he could have been wrapped up even short of the line of scrimmage, but got out of the ankle tackle and then bowled ahead.
Third down and inches for the first down at the 21-yard line. Claycomb comes out of the Mount Union lineup. Petrozzillo, Shorts, the wideouts. Ted Harrell back in to give to Panchik, and again he finds running room, dancing his way for a first down inside the 15-yard line. So the Mount Union Purple Raiders are rolling again.
Yeah, the Cardinals continue to just swipe at the ankles, and Panchik's going to get out of those attempted tackles as we look again. Real close. And again, a fine run by Panchik. He's looking really good in this game. It's only his 9th carry, but he's heading for a possible 100-yard game.
Looks like he's come back off that injury very well. Backfield, Panchik 10. Panchik falls forward down to about the 6-yard line. That'll make it second down and about 5 yards to go.
Panchik had 2 touchdowns in the first half and getting the lion's share of the work here in the third quarter as Mount trying to add to its 41-0 lead.
Shorts left, Petrozzillo right. Rocco goes under center this time. Gives to Panchik, and this time Panchik goes nowhere.
And there's a scramble in the pile, and the ball got loose, and Otterbein came up with it.
Otterbein stops the Purple Raiders and will take over the ball at their own 5-yard line.
And hauling off the ball, recovering the fumble, was Joe Whitehead. So that's the second Mount Union turnover. 6 foot, 245-pound freshman at the bottom of the pile with the football.
They spot the ball at the 7-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. There was some serious digging going on in there. There's that 3-man backfield shift. Schlosser back, flares it out to McCormick, and McCormick, as he turned to go upfield, stepped out of bounds. Pickup of 2, it's 2nd and 8.
They've been making that shift and having, looks like it's going to go to the right side, and sometimes going to the opposite side. But there they flooded the left side of the Raider defense, but he just ran out of room. Schlosser in the first half. He didn't start, but came in the second series and has since completed 10 of 20 for 130 yards, but he's thrown 3 interceptions.
2nd and 8 at the Otterbein 10-yard line. Schlosser this time keeps it and runs and goes down at the 20-yard line, and that's good for the first down.
One of the rare times that they have faked to the backs and the quarterback keeps. Nice day so far for Roger Stewart.
Kyle Stoughton is back in at quarterback. He started the game. Hits the ball, turns, hands it off, and driving ahead is Eric Yates. He'll take it up over the 25 to the 28-yard line.
Well, Otterbein's coming out here offensively in the second half and saying, you know what, let's pretend the score is 0-0 and get back to our game, which is to run the football, and they're having some pretty good luck here.
Now we have rotating quarterbacks as Schlosser is back in and Stoughton sits down. Schlosser. He's got Coy with him in the backfield. Throws a wobbler downfield that was deflected as it went over the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 2nd down and 2 yards to go.
And somebody got a hand on it. Lutz tried for the interception. It fell just short of him. I think Williamson may have gotten the big paw on it. Nope, it wasn't Williamson after all. It was Clarence Liggett.
28-yard line. Third down, 2 yards to go. 3-man shift this time to the left. Stoughton rolls that way, throws up the middle. It is caught by Rowley up at the 35-yard line, and that will be good for a first down. The tackle made at that point by Judd Lutz.
Yeah, that was a tough throw there as he was rolling to the left and kind of had to zing it to his right. And Rowley made a nice catch. He's before that one in the first half, he had 4 catches for 57 yards.
He'll come out wide to the left. McCormick to the near sideline. Double slot. Schlosser hands off and charging into a mass of purple jerseys is good old number 5, Eric Yates.
Yeah, Yates is just the 6th carry for Yates, picking up a couple of yards there. 2nd and 8.
Well, the clock keeps moving. Well, 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Stoughton in the backfield fakes the handoff, throws it near side from McCormick, who caught the ball and is spun down by Renbarger at the Mount Union 46-yard line.
And another fine throw, as he's throwing off his back foot and still got a lot of zip on the ball. Got it into Mount Union territory. This is a fine drive by the Cardinals. Good play fake there, and a good job by the O-line to give Schlosser some time there to make the reception.
We'll bring Yates out and bring in Kevin Ribka. He's going to go into slot left. Quick pitch over the middle, caught, wide open Detweiler, and he's headed for the end zone. Finally caught down at the 5-yard line.
Now they caught the Raiders in a blitz, picked it up perfectly, and they got it to the big tight end, who made a nice run. Detweiler getting it down to the 5. So Otterbein's come to life here in the third quarter, moving the ball from its own 5-yard line down to the Mount Union 5 after they forced the turnover.
McCormick to the left, Rowley to the right. Schlosser with Yates in the backfield, fakes to Yates, rolls and throws to the end zone, and it is 6 points.
Boy.
Detweiler completed the trip downfield with the touchdown.
95 yards on the march, and they made that look easy. With 7:59 remaining in the third quarter, Otterbein's offense starts to click. Detweiler with the touchdown. Nice play fake. Raiders were coming, but once again, the big tight end wide open in the end zone.
That's his 4th touchdown of the season. Extra point will be attempted by Brewer. And he gets it up and good, and it's 41-7 with 7:59 to play in the third quarter, and we'll be back after this timeout.
Now the Otterbein Cardinals get on the board in the third quarter with 7:59 remaining, marching 95 yards on a Purple Raider defense that was playing very well in the first half.
Brewer runs up, gets the wind under that one. It sails down to the 20-yard line, picked up at the 20 by Chaz Jordan, and Chaz is dropped up over the 25 at the 27-yard line.
Ball actually came loose, but once again the ground causing the fumble.
1st and 10. Mount Union sends the frontline troops back out there. Claycomb, Petrozzillo, Judd Harold, Rocco the quarterback, Terrence Mooring in the backfield. Ball give to Mooring. Mooring disappears under a mountain of humanity at the 32-yard line. So the ball is at the 32, 2nd down and a long 9, almost 10 yards to go. Shorts and Harold to the left side as a double slot. Rocco looks back and fires a strike to Claycomb over the 40 up to the 45-yard line. And that'll be 1st down and 10 yards to go. A.J. Claycomb, a junior from Medina.
Yeah, Claycomb, who's been very reliable all season long. And again, reliable here, making his first reception of the game. So, you know, you think you've got things, you've got shorts covered, you've got Petrozzillo covered, and then here comes Claycomb.
And there's Petrozzillo wide open to take the short pass and move it ahead inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Another 1st down.
And if you think you've got those 3 guys covered, you've got Judd Harold and Kyle Miller who are making catches from their tight end position. And then if you think you've got all those guys covered, Panchek can catch the ball and Mooring can catch the ball out of the backfield. So it's a pretty tough job for the defense.
Rocco to Mooring. Mooring inside the 40, dumped at the 38-yard line. Second down, 7.
Mooring's getting close to that 100-yard mark. Panchek's already there. Panchek with 11 carries, 108 yards, and Mooring now with 16 carries for 91 yards.
Rocco back. Rocco rolls out, being chased, going to keep it himself. It is twisted down on the far side, and a flag is thrown. As wrestling the quarterback to the ground is Anthony Lovelace, a sophomore from Columbus.
And words continue to be exchanged as the flag got thrown.
And they're going to march that one ahead for another first down by penalty.
Yeah, they call him for the horse collar. I don't think he got him up around the face mask. But Lovelace giving chase here. You'll see at the end of the play, Rocco does get thrown down, but you can't throw him down that way. Using the back of the shoulder pad to do so.
First and 10. Rocco the pitch outside to Mooring, and Mooring couldn't find the corner to turn it. So the ball is somewhere down around the 25-yard line. Little of any gain on that one.
Now the pitch to the short side, but he just ran out of room. Couldn't cut it upfield because Otterbein had it well contained.
We're down to 5:20 to play in the third quarter. We've got them spread out all over the field now with Rocco alone in the backfield. He throws to the far side. Claycomb grabs it and is hustled out of bounds. It will be a pickup of about 4, so third down and 6. All resting at the 21-yard line.
Boy, Mounts moved the ball nicely. They have 197 yards rushing, 184 in the air. It's been a balanced attack.
Rocco down the middle. Claycomb got it. Touchdown.
Boy, he made a nice grab because there was good defense on the play. There were hands in his face. Ball was almost tipped, but Claycomb looked it right into his hands and got the touchdown. As we look again, Rocco with a perfect pass. Finds his receiver, and a nice catch by Claycomb.
Carpenter attempting the extra point. Got it up and good. 48-7 in favor of the Mount Union Purple Raiders, and we'll have more after this timeout.
March 95 yards for their touchdown, but the Purple Raiders come right back, and a touchdown pass from Rocco to Claycomb gives the Raiders that 6 touchdown cushion.
And Timmers Joe puts a line drive shot, skips down and gets by the receiver. He picks it up in the end zone and is able to get back out there. That was I'll get this kid's name, Korpieski.
Sounds good to me.
Hey. So the ball to the 15-yard line. First and 10 for the Otterbein Cardinals. Well, Medina County has had points on both sides of the ball today. Detweiler from Medina, or from Cloverleaf High School, and Claycomb from Medina.
Right there in your neck of the woods.
That is right.
Schlosser, 14 of 26 now for 201 yards throwing the football. Those 3 interceptions all occurring in the first half. Uh-oh.
And it's burial time. Wow.
I believe Millings was the one who had that one well taken care of.
Joe is a senior, 6'1", 210 from Copley. And that puts the Cardinals back inside the 5.
Now Millings, an expert in tackles for loss. He leads the team in that category with 12 and a half. And that certainly was one of them. That might even go as a sack. It looked like Schlosser was trying to throw.
Second down, half the distance to Otterbein. The handoff nets a little over the left tackle spot. Carry made by Eric Yates. Third down and a bunch. 3rd and 21. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Stoughton is back in at quarterback. Start of the game, had 3 plays, and then we saw Schlosser until recently. He's going to air it out, and the only man close to that one was the defender, Chaz Jordan.
Yeah, he tried to make a diving catch as a little too much air under that one by Stoughton, and Mount holds, and on comes the punting unit for Otterbein. They're going to be kicking out of their own end zone.
Now the line of scrimmage is the 7-yard line.
They need to reset the clock. That's what that whistle was all about. Ken Swanson, the referee, a veteran referee here for this game.
Brewers right on the end line of the end zone. And he gets the punt up. Spiraling shot taken by Allward. And Allward is tripped up at the 40-yard line.
That's a fine punt. He got it up there, and then the wind just kept on carrying that. Allward with a pretty good, actually made a fine catch because he's looking into the wind, or looking into the sun, and the wind is carrying that football away from him. And once he grabbed it, he picked up some positive yardage on the reception. Rocco with 16 of 23, a couple drop passes actually. Could have been a little bit better than that even. 205 yards, 4 touchdowns.
And the handoff driving straight ahead up over the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, this is Zach Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
The sophomore comes into the ball game.
Zach is 6 feet, 200 pounds from Granville.
That's nowhere close to Medina.
No, that's
down
the road a bit.
Denison University is in Granville.
And the handoff is again to Lemon, and Lemon's got open territory. The race is on, and he is pushed out of bounds at about the 5-yard line.
Now, again, he had the seam. He made the right cut and almost got it to the end zone, but a very fine run by Zach Lemon. Look at that hole open up. He's fun to watch, Zach Lemon.
Yes, he is. And he's going to be around for a while, which has been the story here at Mount Union for a long time.
The names just change, huh?
Yep. Of course, a few of them linger on name-wise. Chuck Moore, Nate Kamick, McKaylee. There is the turn to the corner. He never did find the corner. Lemon wrestled down. Lost a little bit on that one, so it'll be second down And about 7 to go for the touchdown.
Yeah, most of the fans sticking around enjoying this football game and the fine weather.
Judd Harold departs the playing field. And Petrozzillo brings a play back in. Ball's at the 7, 2nd down, goal to go. Rocco gives to Lemon. He muscles his way down inside the 5. It'll be 3rd down and goal. Spot of the ball will be just inside the 5-yard line. So 3rd and goal to go at just inside the 5-yard line as the 3rd quarter ticks down through the final 10 seconds, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
So it is 48-7 in favor of the Raiders over the Otterbein Cardinals. And Brooke Thomas has a guest, and it's Sports Information Director Lenny Reich. Brooke?
What's it like being a sports information director for a nationally recognized football team?
Well, it's a lot of work, but with that work comes a lot of great people, a lot of great places around here. Obviously, Mount Union, the job can be really easy, obviously talking about this great football team, but we've got a great coaching staff, great athletic department, great support system with our faculty and staff here, so it really makes my job pretty easy.
Very nice. Thank you, Lenny, and back to you.
Okay, Brooke, thanks. And Lenny Reich, who used to do his work at Capital University, has come to Mount Union, and this is his 2nd year as Sports Information Director. What was kind of interesting is when Lenny Reich came to this press box, he was already quite familiar with it, because while at Capital, the Crusaders had played some classic games here at Mount Union Stadium, and now it's Lenny running the press box and doing a great job.
Yeah, he is a very accomplished SID, and there's so much to that job that the public never sees, and he handles it all. And as I say, on top of that, he's a good guy.
He is indeed. And so now with 1 quarter to go, and Mount Union knocking on the door again and leading it 48-7.
Don't tell him I said that.
That he is a nice guy?
Right.
Now I think he'll probably watch the replay.
Petrozzillo, Miller, Shorts all to the right. Rocco throws down the middle, intending it for Short, shot it by him, and that'll bring 4th down at the 7-yard line. And here comes Carpenter and company going for a field goal.
Well, Lovelace came in and forced the bad throw by Rocco. And the Raiders will try to kick their first field goal of the afternoon.
Brandon Maffey, a freshman from Louisville, holding as Carpenter drives it right through the uprights. And the score improves for Mount Union 51-7. We'll be back after this timeout.
Well, this has been a wonderful day from a weather standpoint, and from Mount Union standpoint. Looks like they will go on to clinch another OAC title, which will give them the automatic berth into the NCAA Division III playoffs, and they will have a chance to defend the national title. Just what all the fans in Alliance were hoping for today.
Timmerjo had one fall off the tee again. He'll take one more try at keeping it there solo. Otherwise, he'll call for help. Herman Timmerjo.
I was going to say they're going to start keeping stats on that. They keep stats on just about everything else. How many times the ball falls off the tee might be another possibility.
Line drive shot skips down to the 5-yard line. Taken on the far side. And coming in is Anthony Korpieski. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at their own 31-yard line.
Let's see what they do at the quarterback position. They've been Doing a little rotating here in the second half.
This will be Schlosser. He's had the bulk of the work today. Stoughton started first series, replaced. Stoughton's made a couple of other cameos in this game. In fact, that is Stoughton. And he throws a strike up over the 30 to the 33-yard line. So that was indeed Stoughton. Stoughton is number 18. Kyle Stoughton, a 6'3", 215-pound sophomore from Lancaster. So we're launched into the fourth quarter here on Parents' Day at Mount Union, and the parents in attendance have watched Mount Union play a very fine football game. Raleigh comes out to the left side. Stoughton gives, and any ground game on that one was minute. Crashing into the middle of the line was Colton Coy. The Cardinals have employed 4 carriers today on the ground, and none of them have numbers they will want posted on the gymnasium wall.
The Raider defense was waiting for this rushing game of Otterbein. Now the Cardinals have moved it fairly well in the air, but they have some turnovers as well.
Stoughton, the pitch back, running to the near side, knocked out of bounds. Colton Coy again. He picks up some yardage, leaves them short at 3rd and 3.
That's going to be 4th, isn't it? Is this 4th down now?
I'm sorry, it is 4th and 3. The ball spotted at the 39-yard line, so it'll be 4th and 2. And they're going to bring out Brewer to punt. David Brewer, a junior from Dublin, Scioto. Petrozzullo and Allward are back for Mount Union. And Brewer gets it off. Downfield, Petrozzullo turning, but he can't get rid of the defender. Fortinel Faustin. I like that name. He's from Naples, Florida. Fortinel Faustin. Sounds like the character in some Civil War novel.
Yeah, maybe a Civil War novel, yeah.
I am Fortinel Faustin, and I own this plantation. New quarterback for the Purple Raiders, Neil Seaman, the freshman from Louisville.
Boy, his alma mater got shocked yesterday in
Indeed.
high school football. They got beat by Columbus Marion Franklin.
Well, Seaman keeps the ball himself, but is able to fight his way upfield to the far side. Good for, if not a first down, close enough so you can see it. Spot of the ball will give them first down and 10 yards to go.
Seaman with some pretty nice numbers coming in, including 42 completions for 340 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
He also came in here with 28 attempts, good for 140 yards, an average of 15.8 yards per ball game. He's back. He throws a strike. It is caught, and the receiver is dropped up at the 44-yard line. That's Tyler Allward. Oh, they say it hit the ground before Allward could gather it in, so all that effort is for naught, and it's second down, 10 yards to go.
He trapped it over in the shade of the covered stands. Oh, no, it wasn't a trap. You're right. It was just a drop.
Starting to see some new names and numbers out there. Brandon Mathey is in the game. Pitch outside, ball comes loose. And it evidently remains in the possession of Mount Union. Those covered stands now are starting to cast a shadow as they bring the ball back to the 38-yard line. Third down, 10 yards to go. Allward is in there. Mathey is in there. Seaman, the quarterback.
See Nate Kamick. Remember number 36?
Yes, I do.
Well, he's not wearing 36 anymore, but he's on the sidelines and has been a pretty nice inspiration for the Raider offense and defense, for that matter.
Seaman gets away from trouble and throws ahead, and Allward makes the catch and is pounded to the ground up at midfield, but it's, according to the spot, good enough for the first down yardage. Now we have a penalty. Illegal procedure against Mount Union. Wipes that whole thing out.
Didn't even see the flag there.
Oh, that's Casper Collins, not Tyler Allward.
Yeah, on offense it would be Collins.
When you've got 8 number 3s out there, you just sometimes look down and pick one. And I picked the wrong one. Jasper Collins is a freshman from Geneva, New York. Timeout. Mount Union will take it on this timeout. Third down, 15 yards to go for Mount Union. Ball back at the 34. Back to pass is Seaman. He tried to run out of trouble but could not evade the grasp of one of the linemen and is down on the ground, so it'll be 4th down and 15.
The Raiders will have to punt it away. Carpenter with just one other punt.
Joe Overby was the man who led the defensive charge. He's from Lebanon, Ohio. Punt time. Carpenter. He hasn't had to do too much of this today. Gets the ball, punts the ball. It's sailing downfield, caught at the 20 by Rowley. Rowley is dropped at the 25. 1st and 10 for Otterbein at their own 25-yard line. Inside 10 minutes to play. They'll put the spot of the ball, a rather generous spot, up at the 27-yard line, almost the 28.
As the sun angles in at this time of day, usually we don't have this kind of sun in November, in Northeast Ohio, but this is bright sunshine, and while it's good news for all, it is pretty tough to pick up the yard markers.
Stoughton at quarterback. Hands off. Yates piles into the line. Got to the 30-yard line. Pick up of the play of about 2. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Purple Raiders have now populated their defense with a whole bunch of new folks. Otterbein trailing 51-7, 9:19 to go. That's Coy in motion. Back to pass. Stoughton throws near side, and he fired it right into the Otterbein bench. 3rd down, 8 yards to go.
Well, it was good coverage on the part of the Purple Raiders on that play, and Stoughton really didn't have much going, so just threw it to the bench. Mount's defense was just outstanding, especially in that first half. They came ready to play and gave the offense a lot of help, but the offense performed well, and it's just been an all-around great effort by Mount Union here this afternoon.
3rd and 8, and the catch is made on the far side, and the hit is made just shy of 1st down yardage. Who was that fellow?
Well, it was, I think it was Lama Lanera who made the stop. We have a couple choices there, but I believe it was Lama Lanera who stopped him, but they say forward progress leaned him beyond the sticks.
Well, the ball was at the 38, 1st and 10. Lama Lanera is 6'3", 210, a senior from Ponte Vedra, Florida. Stoughton hands off and driving for big yardage over midfield down to the Mount Union 46-yard line is Colton Coy. 1st and 10.
Well, they've had Coy bottled up all afternoon, and he made a good run there. Had some nice blocking up front to get through the initial wave, and then makes a good cut. Finally gets dragged down.
I see they have the quarterback Schlosser on the Otterbein bench with his ankle in ice. There's Coy again, a yard, maybe 2. Tackle made for Mount Union by Nick Driscoll. 5'9", 185-pound freshman from Wabash, Indiana. Otterbein starting to play some reserves. David Brewer is into the ball game and tailback. He gets the ball and he gets nowhere. Boy, that tackle was applied in a hurry by Charles Diesel, freshman from Winter Haven, Florida.
Well, this is, again, a fine defensive play. Diesel fighting off the block and then making the big hit for no gain.
Empty backfield for quarterback Stoughton. Drops the ball, and it is picked up by Mount Union's Jorge Carbonell. Sophomore from Miami, Florida, and that turns things around in a hurry. Fumble recovery. 1st and 10 for the Purple Raiders at the Otterbein 48-yard line.
So a couple of Floridians making big plays. Diesel first, and then on the bobbled snap, Carbonell comes in and recovers the fumble, and it's Purple Raider ball in Otterbein territory.
Seaman brings the troops out to the Otterbein 48, 1st and 10. It's the snap back. Handoff given to Blair
Fumble on the
Skilleter.
play, and Otterbein got it.
Otterbein got it right back. That was Blair Skilleter, freshman from Curtis, played over at Genoa High School.
Cole Edwards coming up with the fumble, and it looked like to be a late fumble, but again, he went into a pile, and they're stripping. No, there it is. Yeah, ball comes loose, and the Cardinals come up with it. They stripped him.
Otterbein 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. 6:13 to play in the ball game. Yates and Coy are the running backs. Stoughton rolls to the right, now throws at the last minute, and it is complete. And the receiver who took the ball down at the 46 ends up back at about the 48.
He's had a nice second half. That receiver was Michael Detweiler. He's got the lone touchdown reception for the Cardinals.
2nd and 4. Steve Cusick, another Cloverleaf Colt from Seville, into the game now. But the handoff is loose, and it's still loose. And
Oh, they said it was down, evidently. It was recovered. I believe it was Lama Lanera who came up with it, but let's see. Let's see if the ground did cause the fumble. Yeah, I think it's a good call. as you said, our camera crew on top of their game today.
They have really been good. I mean, they usually are, but I think exceptional is the word I'm looking for here. Stoughton back. Stoughton fires a strike right through the outstretched hands of number 80. And that is Diesel.
He's getting a lot of activity, is Diesel, as he comes in and breaks this pass up.
So it's punt time. Mount sends back. Let's see, who is that? It's not Mooring. I know it's got to be another number 5 out there. And they have 2 to choose from. This one bounces down toward the end zone, and it's recovered inside the 5 by the other 5.
Yeah, it's Mac O'Brien.
Okay.
He's a freshman from Brookfield High School.
.436 to go. Mount with the football. Back down at the 5-yard line. Rocco today was 16 of 23, 4 TDs, 205 yards. Seaman turns in the backfield, hands off, driving ahead for a yard or 2.
Yeah, the Raiders have compiled 465 yards of total offense to 254 for Otterbein.
Seaman gazing over at the Mount Union bench. There he is. He and Matthew were teammates last year at Louisville. Seaman flares it out, and it is caught by Brandon Matthew. Matthew gives him some daylight and a first down.
Yeah, this is an old high school hookup here. Seaman to Matty.
Ball is at the 17-yard line. Seaman throws again near side. This one incomplete. The intended receiver was Brandon Brown, 6'2" sophomore from Merrillville, Indiana. But he played down at Cincinnati Harmony Prep.
Yeah, you get those Cincinnati schools, and you could be from Kentucky, Indiana, or Ohio.
Second down, 10 yards to go, 3.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Seaman keeps, looks, and goes down shy of the 20. Picked up about 3 yards on the play. Maybe not quite that, as they say his knee touched down before the rest of him did. They'll put it down at the 19-yard line. Third down, 9 yards to go.
Well, I don't think we have seen the Purple Raiders in purple tops and black pants. I think this is a debut for this color scheme.
We've seen just about every other combination. Jasper Collins out wide to the left, and Seaman looks that way, ducks the initial charge, and a flag goes flying as he was knocked down.
This is in holding territory, which likely will be declined since it'll set up a 4th down.
It is holding against Mount and refused. So it'll be 4th down. And the ball goes back to the 13-yard line. That'll bring Carpenter out to punt from the end zone, or very close to it. He's standing a yard deep in it now. Gives the ball up, downfield, caught at the 48, and tripped up at the 46-yard line. With the punt return is Korpieski. And the Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at the Mount Union 46-yard line. That yellow paper out there bouncing around on the turf, I thought it was a flag. Stoughton, the quarterback, turns to the backfield, the handoff, and fighting his way for more yardage than you thought he was going to get was, I have no idea.
Yeah, that looks like it was. Let's give it to Shane Little.
Let's give it to Shane. I have no idea, because we're down to the point now where they're putting people in here who are not on the program. Joe Reed comes out to the left for Otterbein. In the backfield, Stoughton hands off, and
That's
Brewer, the ball pops out of his hands as he's hit. And I think they're going to give, are they going to give the ball to Mount? They are.
Yeah, pouncing on it for the Raiders. It looks like it was Nick Driscoll. So yet another turnover for Otterbein, with now 1:40 remaining.
What? They have had a difficult day hanging on to the football.
Now this thing gets doomed from the start, as there's a bobble from the get-go, and then I don't know if it looked like he might have been trying to pitch it, but it ends up being a fumble, and Driscoll gets it.
Seaman turns, hands off, and the race is on. Zach Lemon down the field and into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was not a scheduled touchdown, but Zach Lemon should have gotten one earlier as he got free, and this time he was not going to be denied. It became a foot race and into the end zone, 64 yards on the scamper by Zach Lemon. He was peeling off tacklers from the beginning. Watch Lemon again into the line. Beautiful seam set up by the offensive line, and Zach Lemon goes in.
He runs pretty well, too.
Yes, he does.
Carpenter's extra point try is where it should be. And at the 1:29 mark to play, it's 58-7 in favor of Mount Union.
Well, a dominant performance by Mount Union here this afternoon with the OAC title on the line. And they went up against the Cardinals, a team that looked like they were going to be undefeated coming into this game, but got upset last week against Marietta, and they're haven't quite recovered from that, as the Raiders have put on a licking here, 58-7. Last year's score in Westerville was 49-20.
Well, next week, Harry and I will be back with you, and it will be Mount Union and Marietta.
So the Pioneers, who pulled off the upset last week against Otterbein, will try to do the same. A little tougher task, I think, to come into Mount Union Stadium and do that, though.
Timmerjoe is going to kick off again. Receivers back near the goal line, because Timmerjoe's been putting that ball down there consistently. That time he drives it downfield and into the end zone. Korpieski lets it bounce and touchback. 1:29 to go, 58-7 Mount Union, and the Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Well, the loss will drop Otterbein to 2 losses now on the season. And if Ohio Northern, the last score we had on Ohio Northern Capital, if Ohio Northern would hang on and win that one, that's 2 losses for Ohio Northern. And of course, we still have another week of play. But the question will become, will the NCAA committee take the OAC's second place team with 2 losses, and who will that be?
Hand off, driving ahead is Brewer. David Brewer I don't think it is, but that's who they've got for number 33 on the program.
Well, I'm sticking with Shane Little, even though they list him as a linebacker, 33A.
Oh,
see, I'm going with Shane Little. He just seems to be that size. And
that's an interesting concept. Yes. And off, and whomever that is buried. Second down, 5 yards to go on that play. We're in the final minute of the ball game. And if you're still with us on this telecast, you don't care who it is either.
You're truly a diehard.
You've got insomnia, and you're in hopes we can put you to sleep. Stoughton remains at quarterback as the clock ticks down to the closing moments. Stoughton the handoff to, who did you say that was?
Little.
Little.
Mm-hmm.
And Little drives up close to a first down. And if they put the ball where they say it is, 31, it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. And the clock continues to move along. And that is going to be it. They will not run another play. And the final score is Mount Union 58, Otterbein 7. And we'll be back to wrap it up after this timeout.
Well, Mount Union with a 58-7 win. And what a fine performance by the Purple Raiders, both offensively and defensively. They built a 41-0 lead. And it wasn't until the Otterbein Cardinals got the touchdown, the Raiders answered with one and then also put 10 points on the board in the fourth quarter. Let's take a look at some second half highlights. Rocco had a big day, and they're connecting with Claycomb. As they also played outstanding defense. Joe Millings with a big sack. He was outstanding the entire game, as was the entire defense. There were a lot of turnovers in this game as well, as the Cardinals coughed it up 5 times. Now, they didn't cough it up 5 times on fumbles necessarily, but here's Zach Lemon with an electrifying run near the end of the game, and that's a sophomore on his way. And we've got Brooke Thomas and Roger Stewart. Brooke, take it away.
I'm here with Roger Stewart. You had a great game today.
Thank you.
How do you feel about your interception in the end zone?
It was a big play. We needed it because we were down there with our back, so we gave up a few big plays, but it was nice to get a turnover down there, keep them from scoring.
What do you think about winning the OAC?
It's a big deal. It's one of our goals that we set at the beginning of the year, but we still have other goals that we need to achieve.
How do you feel that the defense did today?
Played pretty well. We had one drive where we gave up some yards, and we gave up a few plays that probably shouldn't have came out on us, but we can get better.
Thank you. Back up to you guys.
Okay, thanks very much, Brooke. And Roger Stewart, you know, that is so typical of a Mount Union athlete. We can get better, you know.
Yeah.
They just did a great job, 58-7. Did let up a touchdown, but, you know, they're always thinking they can improve. And, you know, you get into this point in the season, you've just clinched the OAC title. You're getting ready for the playoffs, and you are thinking we can get better.
And you know what, Harry? They'd better get better, because some of those teams that are showing up in the ratings every week, we are familiar with them. They play very good football.
They do indeed. But the Purple Raiders win the OAC title with this victory over the Otterbein Cardinals, 58-7 our final. So speaking on behalf of Lenny Reich, our sports information director at Mount Union College, and for the image video crew directing, Dean Marini, for Brooke Thomas down on the sideline and Joe Tate up in the booth, I'm Harry Paytas saying so long, everybody, from Alliance.